This local supporter would like to be anonymous and asks, do you agree with Dr. Paul McHugh's characterization of the rise in trans-identifying persons, particularly youth, as a social craze similar to the multiple personality disorder trend in the 80s and 90s? I know you've addressed this somewhat, but if you want to...
So I believe that the transgender issue is such a craze, and I want to talk a little bit at first about the history of the disorder. It's about 60 years, really, in its present form, and it depended upon the developments of technical advances in surgery back about 60 years ago. And in the latent phase, the early phase, it was really only a male-oriented issue in which various men became preoccupied erotically with the idea that they were exciting to others and to themselves if they appeared as women.
No, I do. And in this, if you look at the data, back when like the DSM-5 was written, it was 2013. This, it introduced the topic of gender dysphoria by the name that they gave it in 2013. They show the statistics on how prevalent is this. And so for males, they said the prevalence of gender dysphoria in males is 0.05% to 0.005% to 0.14%, which is like 1 in like 20,000. And then for the females, it was even lower than that, 0.002%, 0.003%, was like, which is like 1 in 50,000 people. Now you look at the numbers coming out of people identifying as trans, and the statistics are anywhere from 0.6% to 3%, which is an astronomical rise of just a decade ago when those statistics were originally released. And so what's going on there is not only more people are identifying as trans, there's this massive inversion of the sex ratio, where it used to be predominantly middle-aged men and boys, and now skyrocketing females of an adolescent. You don't have a lot of middle-aged women coming out, I'm trans. It's just not happening. Yeah. It's predominantly adolescent females at this time of, cultural chaos. After Instagram came out, social media, that's typically where we saw this massive spike. And so it is undeniable the social contagion piece is there. If you want to just look at the data of it, go look at research Dr. Lisa Littman, or if you want a more popularized treatment of that, just read Abigail Schreier's book, Irreversible Damage. It is one of the best books I read on the subject of the social contagion piece of this. So this is undeniable. It's not a matter of, is this really happening? It's like, this is going on. Yeah. There was one school over in England I was reading about that the woman was interviewing the different students about the gender craze going on campus. And there's so many kids identifying as trans, non-binary. And then the woman asked her, how many girls on the campus now identify as lesbian? The student said 0. And I was like, wait a minute,
eh?
Where did they go? There was no room for that anymore. They were now identifying completely out of femaleness.
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Would you like this beautiful, very high quality, definitely not made in China, not that there's anything wrong with that, pints with a quite